Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? It's July 20th, 2018, mid-afternoon. Yes, I've got Devon C
On,
back
guys.
on. We're going to talk a little bit. Devon C is a DigiByte ambassador, DigiByte lover, DigiByte member of the DigiByte awareness team. Devon, good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
So the last video we did,
It's a long interview. It's good though. Yeah.
was awesome. Got a lot of good reviews on Twitter and Telegram. We're like, we got to do it again. And we ended
Yeah.
with, I remember when I did the interview with Derek and Rudy of the DigiByte awareness team, for those of you that aren't familiar with those names. And after the video was over and we weren't recording, Rudy said, oh, I forgot to talk about Digi-ID. He's like, that's
Yeah.
real
Really
important.
quickly.
So
Yeah.
that's where you and I left off the other day. But before we get into that, is there anything about DigiByte in the past week or 10 days, Devin, that you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, there's some things. One we got listed on Huobi, which is is it a Korean exchange?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, Bittrex and Poloniex, we have very high volumes on those. I think we've had the top volumes there on some days too recently.
Yes.
Bit has around $130 million daily volume. I mean, that changes on the daily. So it's got around like 100 million, over 100 million on the daily volume of crypto, not just DigiByte, but everything. But DigiByte was on the top of Bittrex pretty recently. It might still be. I'm not really sure. The market's a little down today, but a retracement is healthy. You know, you don't want to see constant just upward movement because then you're going to have it's going to likely fall back down at some point because people or traders are going to want to take profits. And that's understandable. But yeah, it's all about the long-term vision. At least I'm never really too worried about daily price movements. I do like to see us moving up in the rankings. But as far as the price goes, I mean, I'm not looking to sell this year, next year, really any year any year actually. I mean, I'd rather not move back to the fiat system. You know, if I can pay taxes in DigiByte, I'll do that. I'm gonna wait until I can pay taxes and the stuff, and then start using it. On the daily and buying stuff with it. Because in America, a lot of the viewers might not be from America, but crypto taxes in America are very annoying to deal with. It's like every time you sell, there's a capital gains tax, of course, but if you convert crypto to another cryptocurrency and you realize a gain on that, it's a tax. If you buy a good with it, it's a tax. So at least if you made a gain when you bought the good with it. So yeah, there's hopefully taxes are amended in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But,
Devin, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, we were added to Huobi. So, like I said, Bittrex has around $130 million daily volume. Huobi, and you might not see the price action reflect the news immediately. I mean, I think it did before it was added. We saw like a nice went up to like 15%, back down to 10%. I think we're kind of down today. But Huobi has over $1 billion in daily volume, so it's like 10 times the size of Bittrex. That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
And then the CFTC, I'll go over that real quick.
Sure, you bet. That's great.
The hearing was 2 hours. It was really good. There were very good questions being asked, some skeptical questions being asked, and good answers being given. I think Ms. Balday, there's the CEO of Clover, something like that.
Yeah.
She left, what was it, JP Morgan's blockchain team, something like that. The girl with the purple hair. So she gave some great answers. And then Gensler from MIT also gave some really good answers.
Yeah.
And then most of the hearing was pretty bullish, it seemed to me.
Yeah.
Security tokens, they didn't seem necessarily bearish, but they did kind of mention, well, you're going to need a license, to trade them if they're securities, just like a stock. And to hold them personally to trade, at least for other people, you're going to need a license. So I wouldn't say they're necessarily bearish on security tokens, but it's definitely going to be harder to move them around. But they seemed very bullish on open blockchains or public ledgers, like DigiByte, for example. They didn't really mention DigiByte, but they did mention Bitcoin and Ethereum and just open public blockchains because some of the they were asking questions about, okay, well, what about terrorism? What about money laundering? What about tax evasion? All this stuff. Well, and there were great answers given. Pretty much, I guess I'll just go over it. Like, you can't if you want to commit crimes, don't use Bitcoin, don't use DigiByte, don't use Litecoin or Ethereum, because they're public and they can be traced very easily.
Yeah.
So I think privacy coins are going to have problems in America legally, and this is speculation mostly, but from the hearing, I think they seem pretty worried about crime on the blockchain, like Monero or things that are completely private. They have an awesome use case, and they'll probably be around, but maybe not legally. So I'm not really sure how that's going to go. But yeah, so overall it seems really bullish. Also, Coinbase retracted its announcement of regulatory approval to list coins considered securities, so that was kind of crazy. I don't want to call them market manipulators, but I mean, you can you do your own research on that one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hearing was really cool. Cool stuff happening, and then DX Exchange is launching July 25th, so 5 days. We're not being added upon launch, but we're being added 100% in phase 1 with about, I think, 6 other cryptos. And they're going to have fiat, well, Euro to DigiByte eventually, or Euro to crypto. So they're going to be a competitor to like the likes of Coinbase and Gemini and stuff like that. So yeah.
So just 2 comments from me about the hearing, and I even told my lovely wife this. I said, you know what? In all honesty, Devon, it could have been a whole lot worse. You know,
yeah.
I mean, you could have had, these congressmen. Again, some of them were immature. Some of them didn't understand it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I said to my, wife at dinner, I said, "Hun, it could have been a whole lot worse than what it was." And then another thing that I thought was kind of interesting, because I watched the whole thing. One of the congressmen said something about like money laundering and cryptos, and one of the gentleman's answers was, hey, fiat currency is used all the time in money laundering, so don't worry about cryptocurrencies,
Really? You want to commit crimes using Bitcoin or DigiByte, that's a bad idea. You're going to get caught, at least if they're looking for you. Yeah, it's like the Silk Road started out with Bitcoin, and that was when Bitcoin wasn't as well known and stuff like that. And you could become anonymous if paid for Bitcoin at an ATM maybe somehow, and it was pretty complicated to like do all that stuff or to stay 100% anonymous. But I mean, if you're like on the Silk Road or the black market or whatever it's called now, I'm not sure if the Silk Road still exists, but if you're on the black market using Bitcoin, that's a bad idea. I'm not promoting, of course, anything illegal, but I think Monero and completely private things are going to be used for that. Criminals don't really care about the law, obviously, so I think Monero will probably stay around for quite a long time. It's very hard to trace, but as far as the legality goes, I feel like eventually they're going to crack down on privacy coins, at least completely private coins. I think if it has an open or a public address option, then it would be fine. But the private aspect, I'm just, as much of a use case as they have legally, I don't think there's much of a future legally, at least. But yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk again. We didn't talk about this during the pre-interview, but on my YouTube channel, what I really love to do, because this is what I do in real life, I love listening to other people and learning from them, and kind of, I don't want to say promoting them, but letting other people know how knowledgeable they are. Tell everybody, and again, maybe you'd be a little bit embarrassed, but I'd like for you to do it. Tell everybody about your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, so I have like 3 videos up right now. My YouTube channel, I think it's, just look up DigiByte space helper. It might not come up. I only have like 20 subscribers or something like that. I've done YouTube in the past, so like I know how to upload the videos and record screens and do stuff like that. And I even got, make sure I can show this on the, I got this, my uncle gave me this cool camera recently, and it's got a big lens, and like it has like mirror technology that helps balance the images and videos. So I want to start using it and start doing remote viewing or something like that. I'm not sure, but definitely vlogging could be fun. But yeah, my channel right now is like 3 videos. One of them is the interview that we had just the other day, and then the other 2 are pretty much just like tutorials on paper wallets or using.
They were awesome.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah. How to buy crypto or how to get into it if you're brand new, if you don't know anything about it. Yeah.
And then tell everybody about your Twitter account.
Yeah, my Twitter, it's really active. At least the involvement and the engagement is really active. Like, I don't like to, I guess, what's the word? I mean, I've gotten a lot of impressions. You know how you can like check your Twitter impressions? Like nearly 1 million last month, and that seems kind of crazy for an account with only like a little less than 700 followers. But
Whoa.
my followers seem really engaged with what I'm tweeting for the most part. And I mean, Twitter's fun. I mean, like I've talked to Charlie Lee a few times, had some debates there. I mean, I think he's starting to appreciate at least the DigiByte community more. Because I do try on Twitter to direct our community in a positive direction, rather than like a direction that's gonna be counterproductive to our success. But yeah,
Sure.
Twitter's fun. I retweet a lot of the news, some stuff, or yeah, like just motivational stuff even sometimes. A lot of it's DigiByte related, and what we're doing. So if you want to be up to date with, in general, everything DigiByte related, just follow DigiByte Helper, just how it sounds. And yeah, I mean, that's my Twitter, yeah.
And then before we talk about Digi-ID, one more thing, please. Could you let everybody know what's going on Telegram?
Telegram's big. So Telegram's an app, and it's built on a blockchain. It's a Russian company. I don't know how it's built on because it's centralized, but it's a really great app for linking people to other things, or like you can like, if you like hold down on a message, you can like reply to something way up in the comments, and just kind of like, it's really great for communicating to people, and you can link to other channels and like 30 DigiByte groups on Telegram. So if you go to Google and just search DigiByte official Telegram, just kind of like mail, like a telegram. So you can do that. You don't need an account, just a phone number. The app takes like 30 seconds to download. It's not a big app or anything. You can use it on your Mac, or I'm not sure if it's on PC, but it's definitely on Android and on iOS. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay. All right. So let's talk again. I'll say this one more time. Let's talk about Digi-ID. And I remember, again, I said it 10 minutes ago, but when I got done with the interview with Derek and Rudy, and then we went into the, after, the interview was over, Rudy said, "Oh, doggone it, I forgot to bring up Digi-ID." And then when you or I were talking a couple of days ago, you brought it up and like, you know what? I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I keep on hearing Digi-ID. And then you were nice enough to say, hey, maybe later in the week we could just do a little video. So again, I'm going to ask you just some super basic questions. So
I've got notes for this too. I mean, like it's the technicals of Digi-ID and exactly how it works is a little complicated, but the idea is really simple. Yeah.
So what is Digi-ID, and why would the common person want it? Like, what's it about?
So it allows you to replace pretty much usernames and passwords and two-factor authentication. It pretty much gives you a one-time QR code that's linked to a plugin that could be on any website. Like I'm not saying any websites they're using, but like say you wanted to log into your bank or like to Facebook or Amazon or whatever you wanted to log into. Now, these we don't have many big guys using it yet, but in the future, of course, we'd like that. I mean, that'd be really cool. So pretty much it allows you to sign in to a website, to log in without usernames or passwords. So you don't have to remember that stuff. You don't have to keep it written down. There's no risks of your data being stolen off the website, because websites store your passwords and data sometimes. And even if they don't, Google probably does somehow. So it's like, it's just a great authentication system. It's a great security measure for logging into places. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I can go over the technicals and then some questions. Also, the website is digi-id.io, or digi dash or hyphen id.io. Okay. So just digi-id.io. But yeah.
So again, and then when we got done with our last interview, I said, I'm selfish. I just want to learn more about it myself, and we'll just do a video and other people can listen in. So, so it's, again, I'll kind of use hand motions. I don't know why I'm doing this to make a point. So first I go into my Digi-ID, and then that allows me to go into a bazillion apps or websites or places that currently have my stored passwords that I don't need to do that anymore, right? Is that?
you wouldn't need a password anymore. If you have the DigiByte app or the DigiByte mobile wallet or whatever it's actually called, there's a wallet side of the app, and then there's the Digi-ID side of the app. And pretty much all that is a QR scanner, and then it allows you to scan the one-time QR code that's not on the blockchain itself. It's run off using the blockchain. I'll get into how it works in a second.
Sure.
Because even I mean, the technicals are a little complicated. I'd ask some guys exactly how it worked also before even doing this video. So, yeah, it's really cool though.
Okay. Would you like to maybe wade into the lake of some of the technicals as long as you
definitely. So I'm going to read this because I don't have this memorized.
Sure, no, you're fine.
And I'm still getting into it. So pretty much what it does is it'll take a session ID, it'll hash it, send the data back, and then you're signed in. So pretty much 4 steps, and I'll just run through these. This is all just formally typed out. So it'll take the domain and then the TLD, which is the top level domain, and then the TLD refers to the last segment of a domain name or the part that follows immediately after the dot symbol. So it takes the domain and the TLD of the site you're trying to access, and it creates a wallet, based on the URL. And then the website is going to ask you to sign in, or it's going to ask you to sign the return URL, which it added some pseudo-random data to so that it's unique, completely unique for the one-time use. And then you're going to use the the public-private key encryption method that DigiByte wallets already pretty much use to sign the URL. And then the website is going to process the returned message, and then calculate the public key, and then hash it to get the wallet address, which is your ID. But you're not using the same wallet address you used to receive stuff.
Okay.
You don't ever want to try to send DigiByte to your Digi-ID wallet address because it's not going to work. So the difference is to standard public-private key thing is the hashing step, since it makes reversing the process of logging in pretty much virtually impossible to crack even by quantum computers, just similar to how the DigiByte blockchain itself works. So pretty much it eliminates the risk of hackers or other people getting your login information. And it's going to be really important, I think, also for banks. If you have or a big problem that even I had, and I've had a problem with this before. I was contacting Coinbase customer support about something, and it was the wrong number, and they were just pretty much some scammers. And they were pretty much asking for certain info about certain things, but I could have risked pretty much losing certain, or at least exposing certain passwords to them. So a lot of people store their passwords on digital media, or so I used to store all my passwords. Well, I still do, but they're offline. I have all of them written down on paper. That's the smartest thing to do. But also if I'm on the go, I have it not on the iCloud, but saved in the notes section offline on my phone, so I can just refer to those. But a lot of people, I think, keep their passwords on online. Think on notes, say on their iPhone, or they have Google save their passwords or just stuff like that. And Google and Apple is compromised. I mean, goodbye to your bank stuff, credit cards, Facebook or Twitter, everything. That's going to be a really annoying hassle. I mean, identity theft, I've never had it happen to me, but I can imagine it sucks. So Digi-ID is pretty much going to solve that problem.
So again, sometimes I think in word pictures or pictures. So really, is this a true statement? Because I don't know if it is or not. That's why I'm asking you. Is Digi-ID kind of like having your own cybersecurity team on your side, making sure that no one messes with you, right? That's a
good bit, yeah. I mean, because the DigiByte blockchain itself is, super secure, and this isn't even relating to your funds. Digi-ID is completely separate from your funds on your wallet, so quantum computers even really couldn't crack this because it's a one-time use. You're never going to use the same QR code to sign into a website again. It's going to give you a new one each time. You're going to scan it, and then you're in. You get a new one every time.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, because I read last night, I printed the Digi-ID, the whole website. So there's no cost involved in Digi-ID, correct? It's
Uh,
free?
free for life. Yep, forever going to be free. That's also great.
Okay.
Just a decentralized app. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well,
The
listen.
download is free too. So
I'm sorry. Say it again, please.
the DigiByte mobile app is free. Also, that'll always be free.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to talk about Digi-ID or DigiByte or the DigiByte awareness team or whatever?
I'll go over Digi-ID, and this is straight up copied and pasted from the website, but I might as well go over it in
Sure.
the video. You can read the website; everything's there. So I'll just this is in quotes, by the way. So Digi-ID is an authentication method based on the security of the DigiByte blockchain. This allows you to log into a website, application, building, security. So yeah, because you can even log into a building, say, with this. A lot of buildings, or at least more private buildings, might have like a card you sign into. If there's sensitive information in the building usually, but so you can use that to sign into a building even, so you're not compromising the security of the building itself, or your house if you wanted to do that. But so it allows you to sign in just by simply scanning or tapping on a QR code. So Digi-ID does away with the need for usernames, like I said, and passwords. So that's just the general statement of what it is. So it gets rid of pretty much the ability for users to share passwords with others. So that's a big one. And since passwords can be sorted securely both by the server or by the user, also you don't have to worry about that. You wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Then, like I said, hackers can break into websites and steal the passwords and usernames. Keyloggers can intercept passwords. Passwords can be used multiple places. A lot of people use the same password, and then they kind of screw themselves whenever someone finds out what it is. So that's another reason why they never use the same password. Maybe a variation of the same one, but never the same one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how does Digi-ID work? I guess I'll just go over that again. This is just straight from the website. I'm just going to go over it. So the website generates a unique QR code for you on each visit. And the QR code doesn't know who you are or any details about you. It's just related to your Digi wallet. So the QR code gives your ID authenticator a string of letters and numbers, along with details for where to send the login information to. So that's pretty much it, and that changes every time. So this is also in quotes. Using the same cryptographic security that keeps your DigiByte secure, Digi-ID encrypts a message in the QR code, which is then sent back to the website, using a tiny amount of data to do so. So it's really efficient. And then some common Q&A. This is also from the website. Just got like 3 questions. I'll just go over these. So here's question 1. Can somebody just try to guess my login really quickly? Just try to use the private key? Well, it's going to be really hard. So sure they can, but all the computers in the world working together would take thousands of years to guess just one person's details. And even then, it may not be the details of the person they want. It's both mathematically and physically not plausible at all for a person to happen to guess that ID login in this lifetime, because quantum computers to break into like a DigiByte wallet address eventually might be able to do that. I'm not sure how many qubits it would take. It's a lot, but I think 70. I know it's like around 4,000 qubits estimated to break into a Bitcoin wallet. Right now, like Google has like a 75 qubit quantum computer. So there's that, but even then, the DigiByte team is definitely thinking about ways to prevent even quantum computers getting into the addresses. So that's something we're definitely thinking about, because quantum computers will be a problem, and it's not going to be a problem for your wallet if you've never used it. They're not going to be able to crack it, but if you've sent stuff from it before, it's going to be a lot easier. Digi-ID is great in that aspect. What happens if I lose my phone? That's another question. You can remotely wipe your phone and then restore your unique passphrase to another phone or computer. Digi-ID can be used across Android, iOS, Mac, and PC. Yep. Can websites see my DigiByte balance when I'm using Digi-ID? No, they cannot. So Digi-ID uses a unique address that is separate from your DigiByte wallet address. In fact, a unique address is generated, like I said, for each website, so that your address is not reused. Note, You should never send DigiByte to this login address. It will not show up in your wallet. Lifetime free service. No gimmicks, no ads. It's just a very simple plugin that any website can pretty easily put in, and some are already starting to do it. Like in some of the Telegram channels, I already see guys saying, "Hey, I'm putting Digi-ID in my website. It's awesome. It works well." So, yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on talking about DigiByte and Digi-ID. There you have it, everybody. Devon C., DigiByte ambassador, DigiByte awareness team member, all around good guy. Devon C., thanks for coming on again today. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.